Well, he took their money and then broke the hearts of grieving families.
And tonight, our investigation into Sean Parcells goes nationwide. We're hearing from others who say the same thing happened to them.
Here's investigative reporter Angie Roccono exposing allegations of fraud and deception across the country and asking the question, who will hold Parcells responsible?
The vast majority, not above 90%, have been very happy with our work. However, the chips fall, and they are thankful because they've got closure and peace of mind.
This man is deranged on many levels.
Lacey Langford now has harsh words for the man she hired to find answers in her mother's death. Sean Parcells took her money but never performed the autopsy.
I've lost sleep. I've become physically ill over it. What happened to my mom, I don't know that we'll ever know.
We're now hearing complaints nationwide.
Very frustrated, angry. I mean, I don't even know if an autopsy was done really at this point.
We're not even really worried about the money. We're really just want to find out, we want some closure as to what happened. It's literally like the most low-down thing you could possibly do.
He never returns my call. Never.
Never returns the call.
He'll lie to you, and then you try and call him back, and then he scolds you for trying to get an answer. It's been 14 months.
Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. These families are being held hostage.
Families are reacting on emotion, okay? They're upset that their loved one died.
Sean Parcells is used to criticism. He hears it from families. He's also heard it from law enforcement and his own colleagues. Parcells has been accused of botching a murder investigation.
We cannot use any evidence found from the autopsy in a court of law.
Losing a man's brain.
The lawsuit that he had filed against me about losing the brain fell apart because the brain was never lost.
And lying about his credentials.
Did you think he was a doctor?
Yes.
Why?
Because he said so.
I tell people all the time, I almost became a neurosurgeon. That doesn't mean that I'm a doctor. That doesn't mean that I was in medical school. I really did almost do that.
But Parcells admits he did a makeover, shut down his company, Parcells Forensic Pathology Group, then started a new company, National Autopsy Services. He now introduces himself as Professor Len to his new clients and admitted that on camera.
It's my middle name. I have that right.
Is it because of the previous coverage that you decided to no longer use Sean Parcells and to not make that your identity and to kind of use a different identity that was less controversial?
I think there's a part of me that was doing that. I mean, in all honesty, yes.
I consider him somebody that should never been allowed in this industry. I've been doing autopsies over 25 years, and I've never seen something like this in my life, ever. And this person is still operating.
That's someone who used to work with Sean Parcells, who says Parcells is doing his best to derail a current investigation by the Kansas Attorney General. He sent us this text message Sean Parcells sent him.
Tell you what, if I know you can ignore the AG, I will pay $1,000 weekly. But I have to know you won't talk to them nor make up stories that I say I am a doctor.
Parcells' own lawyer followed up by email with that former employee.
I advised him, nevertheless, to settle your dispute amicably, but not to bribe you.
Parcells tells us that conversation was taken out of context. He owes that man money, and he's just trying to assure him he will be paid. But tonight, the question remains, who oversees private autopsies? Who watches out for these families? The Board of Mortuary Arts tells us we do not have oversight over autopsies. We contacted the Kansas Department of Health. Sean Parcells isn't even on their radar. This lab named person is not on any clinical laboratory certification list and therefore does not come under lab oversight for KDHE. We also reached out to the Kansas Attorney General's office. They sent us this statement. The Attorney General's office does not confirm or deny the existence of an investigation. And then finally, there is the Kansas Board of Healing Arts. They directed us to this state statute. An autopsy may be performed upon the body of a deceased person by a physician or surgeon when so authorized. So we pushed for an explanation. How does Sean Parcells run an autopsy company when he's not a doctor? Well, we were given an analogy that not everyone in your doctor's office is a doctor. Medical examiners speculate prosecutors and government officials have been reluctant to charge Parcells with any crime because he's involved in some of their cases, and this could affect their convictions. Parcells tells our I-Team he has assisted in more than 2,000 autopsies. Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.